Devotion for Wednesday, April the 22nd. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And then a verse in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Think with me for a moment about what you have learned about yourself these days with the stay-at-home order or the social distancing order. Have you learned that you've got some time to catch us up on some things, that you kind of let go and been able to take care of those? Have you realized the great need that you have within your own life to be with other people? Have you realized how important time is that you spend with family and with friends, and how you cherish that time? Or how about the importance of the time you spend in church? For some of you, you've probably learned to rely on other people to assist you with some of your basic needs, like grocery shopping and other things like that. Time that you have had to adjust and take in some of the more important matters of life, even as you have thought about them. Think with me for a minute. Maybe what you and I have learned about God, or have been reminded about God in these days. I can think of 3 this morning. Number 1, God can use something bad and turn it into something good. Most all of us know the story of Joseph and how things did not go well for him. And he ends up in Egypt, and he ends up finding favor with the Pharaoh, and he ends up turning what was slavery into a very powerful position of leadership, and led his family to that land, and they were well fed during a time of a famine. There are so many stories about how God has taken something that was not so good and turned it into good for his glory. I can think about how God has worked in people's lives during these weeks and seen the good that they have done, how people have stepped up to help one another, how people have made significant contributions to help those who had so little, how nonprofit organizations have made a difference in people's lives, how churches have become very creative in their worship and done some wonderful things in ministry to others, how even some for-profit businesses have gotten out and been able to provide things for other people and help those that were in need get through this crisis. Lives have been changed. People are talking more freely about God, about faith, and about prayer. And I believe we're going to witness a lot more good things as we work through this experience and it comes to a close. I also have been reminded how God can use dark periods to produce great light. There are times recorded in the scripture where there were dark moments in people's lives and in the people of God. And God had a great plan. And as that plan unfolded, the light came forth. Well, look what happened with the death of Jesus and the darkness of the world that day. That became great light in his resurrection. You could say we are going through a dark period. Our lives have faced fundamental disruption. What will life be like when these orders for us have been lifted? What will our community and our church be like after this disruption? I believe that God will use this for his glory. And then back to those scriptures. I've been reminded over and over that even in the midst of a hard time, even in the midst of great disruption, even in the midst of what we might call a dark period, God never leaves us nor forsakes us. It is his promise by scripture that he will be present. As difficult a time as many may be having, as dark as these days may be for some people, God is ever present, and we are assured of his presence. I've been reminded of this over and over and over through these past few weeks. I've seen God's work in people's lives. I've seen it portrayed many times as people have shown it through social media. I've looked and seen what other churches are doing and what we've been able to do. I know that God is with us in these times. God bless you and have a great day.